Let us cross over to the other side. Missionaries of Hope in the footsteps of the Redeemer. Dear confreres, dear students in formation, dear novices, dear lay missionaries, oblates, partners in mission, and the entire Redemptorist family. Let us cross over to the other side. Missionaries of Hope in the footsteps of the Redeemer. This is the title of Communicanda 2, prepared by the General Council and the General Secretariat of Evangelization, and signed by Father Rogerio Gomez, our Superior General, and Father Christian Bueno, the Executive Secretary of the General Secretariat for Evangelization. The Communicanda is the culmination of the process of reflection in the congregation in this year dedicated to mission, and preceded by two reflections given out. First, on the Feast of the Annunciation of the Lord, a charism in history, and second, given on the Feast of Blessed Sarnelli, reimagining our mission in a changing world. The biblical reference text is, "Let us cross over to the other side," Mark 4:35. The words of the Lord to the disciples, inviting them to get into the boat and cross the lake to the opposite shore. Inspired by the Jubilee Year of Hope, the year dedicated to mission, the Jubilee marking the 300th anniversary of the birth of St. Gerard, the fact that we are on the threshold of the 300th anniversary of the founding of the Congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer, together with the ongoing process of restructuring and reconfiguring for mission, and in the light of the transformations taking place in different parts of the world today, as we read the signs of the times, we are invited to cross over to the other side. Our congregation is missionary by nature and expresses itself through the different areas of our apostolate: pastoral service to priests, popular missions, parish ministry and shrines, catechetical instructions, retreats, the promotion of justice and peace and human development, the media, the study of moral theology, and spiritual counseling, all of which must be adapted to pastoral needs. Constitutions 1 to 20, 46 to 55, 77 to 90, 96. General Statutes 09025. All of our missionary work is founded on our consecration to Christ the Redeemer, which unifies our entire life in apostolic charity and makes all Redemptorists truly missionaries. To this end, we form community and receive initial and ongoing formation oriented towards preparing the authentic apostles at the service of the church. Likewise, the very organization and structures of the congregation are at the service of the mission, ensuring that in all pastoral and community expressions, the missionary character is manifested as the very reason for the congregation's existence. Jesus' invitation to cross over to the other side is always a call to take a leap of faith, to place our trust in Him completely. We are led to leave the safety of solid ground and venture out upon the sea of life, where the boat of the Christian community sails through the storms and the stillness of this world. The mission is not fulfilled in calm harbors, but in turbulent waters, where faith is tested every day by the waves that rock our boat. This crossing is Paschal, a passage from doubt to hope, from theory to practice, from death to resurrection. The other shore becomes an image of the church in a state of exodus, always on the move, unafraid of the sea, yet called to encounter the new, the not yet, and the promise that can be reached only through the courage to cross, accompanied by the Redeemer, who seems to be asleep. But when the winds grow strong and the sea grows tough, the discovery of hope is possible. Beyond the night, dawn always breaks. To cross over to the other side is to dream and to dare, to let oneself be guided by a hope greater than the waves, to believe that even the stormy sea may become a mirror of calm under the gaze of the Redeemer. With Him, we cross over to the other side, strong in faith, joyful in hope, fervent in charity, on fire with zeal, in humility of heart, and persevering in prayer, ready for all that is arduous, so that we bring to all the abundant redemption of Christ. Constitution 20. Crossing over to the other side is a call from Christ to the Redemptorist family to reimagine and renew its mission today. Embracing a stance of continual conversion with openness to the peripheries, to ecological commitment, digital presence, shared mission with the laity, and creative fidelity to the charism of St. Alphonsus, becoming true missionaries of hope. We ask, are our present modes or ways of doing things capable of responding to the needs of the people and the times among which we live our present Redemptorist mission? In order to answer this question and to respond to the 26th General Chapter's call to reimagine our mission today in a changing world, a fluid world, and courageously propose new ways of doing mission in today's world, we offer 9 important areas which form the basis for our reimagining of our mission today as Redemptorists. First, the call to missionary conversion. A conversion that is at the same time personal and communal, of structures and ways of doing mission, a conversion to the Redeemer and His mission and action in our lives and in our communities. Second, social and ecological conversion. We become aware that new venues of mission are emerging, empowering us to carry out anew our mission as stewards of creation, finding ever more meaningful ways to proclaim the good news of plentiful redemption. Ecological conversion also stems from a social conversion, where the connection between society and ecology is emphasized, in order to care for our common home and for one another, and of the responsibility towards future generations. Third, evangelizing in and through the digital continent. In a time when the digital continent asserts itself as a decisive space in human experience, we Redemptorists are called to recognize this field more intentionally as both a theological and pastoral place for mission today. Fourth, going forth in obedience to the mission. Restructuring is for mission is more than a cliche. It is a gift of the Holy Spirit that expresses the radical openness to the gospel that is proper to our Vita Apostolica. It makes us free and available for the mission and does not allow us to become stagnant within our own structures or the way we have always been doing things. Here we encourage all the units to identify the new faces of the poor and the emerging forms of poverty so as to promote renewed initiatives and ministries. Reconfiguration, in fact, is both a strength and a bridge that enables us to cross over to the other shore and encounter new people. Fifth, missionaries of hope. The question we are called to respond to here is, how can we be tangible signs of hope in a world that seems to live without horizons, increasingly secularized, consumeristic, and also increasingly threatened by the tragedy of war and environmental degradation? Sixth, reimagining missionary dynamism and dialogue with the world. This Communicanda is a call to communion in mission at the heart of a changing world. We are called to proclaim the good news of plentiful redemption to and in the world. Thus, mission requires of us a listening heart in dialogue with this changing world. It asks that we have a sense of communion between the witnesses and bearers of the gospel. Seventh, creative fidelity. Continuing Christ, the evangelizer of the poor today, requires of us a creative fidelity. in order that we might live more fully the charism and the spirituality of the congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer, in openness and docility to the action of the Holy Spirit. The spirit of creative fidelity enables us to see cultural differences, borders and boundaries, not as obstacles or points of departure, but new challenges to face, new opportunities to seize, to welcome and explore as we carry out and live our mission. Eighth, a mission shared with the laity. The involvement and participation of our partners in mission will prove to be invaluable in this reimagining and revitalization of mission in the congregation. And ninth, Mary, icon of missionary discipleship. Mary as the type or example of conformity and participation in the mission of Christ. Our mission today must be to accompany Mary in her mission as a missionary disciple of Jesus, the Redeemer, to make him known. That mission is to accompany, gather, struggle, and pray with people who are poor, abandoned, wounded, or suffering. In conclusion, this Communicanda is precisely for that, a support that encourages and motivates our missionary life in the context of today's world in continual change. It is a call to engage ourselves with hope in the service of the mission of the congregation. As we prepare to celebrate the 300th anniversary of the founding of our congregation in 2032, may we really experience in our daily life the grace, the beauty, and the joy of being disciples and missionaries of Christ, the Redeemer. Redemptorist mission is still relevant today. We must constantly seek new ways to preach the gospel and renew those we already have. This Communicanda is a call to embrace the future with hope as one missionary body. All Redemptorists, urged on by the apostolic spirit and imbued with the zeal of our founder, continue the tradition developed by our confreres in the past and are ever attentive to the signs of the time. Sent as helpers, companions, and ministers of Jesus Christ in the great work of redemption to preach the word of salvation to the poor. Constitution number 2. The fundamental question each of us as Redemptorist missionaries and all who belong to our Redemptorist family must ask and answer with all sincerity is, do we want to cross over as a missionary body to the other side, as the Redeemer calls us to? I wish you all a good reading, personal reflection, community sharing on this second Communicanda in the year dedicated to mission.